if you want to speak English better, fluently, you have to practice a lot. But you also need feedback. You need to track your progress. Okay, so maybe you say, I'll get a one-on-one teacher. Great, maybe. Some are good, some aren't. They're not available 24/7, so you can't practice all the time, and they're very, very expensive. Okay, I'll use ChatGPT. Well, ChatGPT is an AI assistant. It's not really designed to be your AI English teacher. So you have to prompt it. It can't really track your progress over time, and it can be very unpredictable and frustrating. Today, I'm going to be checking out an app called Fluently. The team reached out and asked me if I would be willing to give an honest review. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. Now, Fluently is your AI-powered personal English tutor. Unlike apps like Duolingo and similar apps, it's not for beginners. It's for you, someone who already knows English but wants to be more fluent, to speak more naturally. That's where the real challenges are. That's what requires a lot of practice, a lot of speaking practice. So let's check it out. All right, the first thing we need to do is take an assessment. So let's start assessment. I'm going to go for a B2, around a B2 level, and I'm going to be checking pronunciation, my use of filler words, fluency, grammar, and vocabulary. I like that they give you the criteria right at the start so you know what you're being evaluated on. Oh, okay, and it's going to be a call. That's pretty cool. I like that it's more like a live call. It feels like a real situation, which prevents you from preparing an answer, because then it's not really an evaluation, right? The interface is cool. I like the overall interface.
Hey, I'm Stacy. I'll be checking out your English today. How's it going, Luke?
Hi, Stacy. It going very well. Thank you very much.
Oh, I see. You forgot the auxiliary verb is after it. So the correct phrase would be, it is going very well. No worries, it's a common mistake. Great try, though. Nice. Glad to hear that, Luke. So tell me, are you working right now, or are you in the middle of looking for something new?
I currently looking for the new job, although my current job is okay, but I want to using more English in the new job.
Got it. That totally makes sense. What kind of job are you hoping to find where you can use more English, Luke?
I'm hoping to find a job in the tech industry. I currently am a product managers, but want to using more English in my the job.
That's awesome, Luke. Tech is such a fast-moving world. What kind of company or project would be your dream job in tech?
I think that if I can doing the job that working on some interesting AI tool or some other kind of production, that will be very meaningful for me. Well, if I'm working in the English-speaking company, then maybe the most challenge will be the language part, but otherwise, understand the resource and productivity and possibility is the most challenge. Okay, how was my call? Good. Happy to hear that. Yes. Evaluating my skills. Here we go. Reviewing grammar for accuracy, exploring your vocabulary for richness, checking your fluency for natural flow. I deliberately did some issues with natural flow, word choice, pronunciation. I said a lot of day and dem and this, for example. I think I should get a B2 level would be my guess. That's what I was going for, B2. The thing I like about the call is the balance between feedback and conversation flow. One of the big issues that I've noticed with a lot of conversation practice tools is that maybe you get a correction every single time and it disrupts the flow, or you don't get any corrections and it's just a conversation. So you need the feedback, you need suggestions, but it doesn't feel like it's too much. It feels very balanced, right? And that's what you want. That's what honestly a good teacher will do. All right. Hey, B2. That's what I was going for, B2. Scoring based on CEFR certification standards. That's the kind of international standard. I did have some grammar issues. Fluency, filler words, pronunciation, vocabulary. Looks about right to me, to be honest. B2, as I said, is what I was going for. Your level is B2. Improve your pronunciation score by 17% to advance to C1. If I tap on, let's see, industry, you said on the call, it gives me the specific thing I said. That's what you want. If I don't remember the context, how can I improve? But if you give me the sentence that I said and exactly how it was used, then I remember, and then I can actually practice it in context. That's how it should be. Okay. I can listen to them side by side. That's cool. Industry. Oh, you did it. Okay, better. I fixed it. Nice. Okay, so that's cool. You can review pronunciation, and you're going through each category one by one. Now, again, real teacher, can you get this depth of analysis? In most cases, no. Okay, expand your vocabulary by 14% to express ideas with greater precision and nuance. Score 55. And this is the range of the words that I used from A1 to C2. I use mostly A1 words, A2, and not many C1 and C2 words. That is a very nice interface. And it's only the useful information I need. I like that a lot. Okay, grammar, same thing. Quite a few things here. There were quite a few grammar problems, let's be honest. I currently am looking. So great feedback. Again, if I tap into any of this, I can review the grammar. I can go through one at a time. I can listen to what I said, explaining the grammar. That's really cool. I really like this breakdown. Now, this is where it gets interesting because now I can, as I do these sessions, track my progress over time, taking modules to work on individual skills. I can make it part of my routine. So the cool thing about this app is it's just like having a teacher. You have an AI teacher now who can help you, but you can do that 24/7. And that means you can make it part of your daily life. It doesn't have to be this thing where you sit down. You could do it while you're doing other tasks. You could talk to your teacher while you're, putting the dishes away or walking the dog or whatever. For each of these, as I have them, I can then review the entire transcript and then all of those specific things that I went over in the first lesson, in the assessment lesson. Here are some options for customization. I can customize my teacher, the notifications. I can do a daily goal. I commit to practicing 10 minutes a day. Then I can do that. That's very cool. 10 minutes is decent. Why not do more? So 14 minutes a day. Customize my teacher. You can choose male, female, speaking speed, teaching style, voice. You can change the voice. So let's see if I choose soft. Let's listen.
Hey, let's dive in and make speaking fun and exciting.
Hey, I'll be your speaking tutor.
I'm sticking with that one. I like that. Can set notifications if I want for learning reminders. And what is this? Whoa. So if you're having real life conversations on Zoom or Google Meet, based on what you say in your real life, in your job, you can then get personalized feedback. So I'm not thinking about my English, but I have to communicate at work. It can take that audio from my calls and then send me an analysis. That is a new idea. I've never seen that before. That is very cool. That is very cool. Oh, now, another thing that's, I think, important to realize here is that from the very beginning, from the assessment, you then have a personalized learning plan. So your personalized AI teacher is doing calls with you based on your daily commitment. In the background, you are following a custom plan. And that's going to be different for every single person, right? And it's happening in the background. It's not like, oh, this is a topic and this is a topic. Yeah, you can do those things too, which is great. Mock interviews, chit chat, one-on-one. But more importantly, I think you're progressing toward a higher level of fluency, working on those skills, especially the ones where you are weak. And the only way to do that is through practice. So let's try a mock interview. Let's see if let's try one of these other modes.
I'm Stacy, your interview partner today. Ready to kick off?
I'm ready, Stacy. Let's do it.
Awesome. So what position and level are we practicing for today?
We're working on a product manager role interview at an AI company working on productivity tools, building productivity tools, looking for a bilingual, experienced product manager.
Perfect fit for you, Luke. All right, before we dive in, introductions are super important in interviews since they set the tone and show how you present yourself. Let's say I'm the director of product at an AI productivity startup. Here's how I might start. Hi, I'm Stacy, Director of Product at FlowMind AI. I've spent the last 8 years leading cross-functional teams to build tools that help people work smarter. Now your turn. Give me your intro and walk me through your professional experience. Try to highlight a couple of specific projects you've led and the impact your work had.
My name is Luke. I've been working on many productivity tool projects over the last 15 years, and I have built tools especially for people to track their own productivity and communication. I worked on a startup project that using a very innovative calendar technology developed by my team.
Great job describing the project. Just a quick tip. When the subject is singular, like project, the verb should also be singular, so uses instead of using. What made your team's calendar technology stand out from other tools on the market? That's awesome, Luke. You're really putting in the effort to sound natural and professional. That's exactly how progress happens. The phrase will come easily with a bit of practice.
Here's something that I just realized that I think is so cool. Okay. A lot of these AI practice tools that are out there, it's very, I don't want to say, it's just about the feedback. Right? It's just about here, just practice and we'll give you some feedback and suggestions. This, I feel like, is operating on a deeper language learning level that I can understand as someone who's been teaching English for 15 years. So I was thinking, how come that the lesson has been 7 minutes, but my timer at the bottom, it says progress toward your goal, is only 3 of 14. Remember I said I wanted to practice 14 minutes a day. Wait a second. It is only clocking my speaking time toward that overall goal. And that makes perfect sense. If I say I want to practice for that long, I want to speak for that long, then it should only be counting what I'm saying. Right? Now that I know that, I may decide, okay, how much do I want to practice? Do I want to actually speak per day? Whether it's 14 minutes or 10 minutes or even 5 minutes. But I think 10 minutes would be a good daily goal. It's keeping me accountable and also giving me a bit of a reward. I can see it go up each time, which encourages the student to speak more. Well, let's just say, who is this for? This is for people who can already speak, but may lack the confidence to speak a lot. People who maybe don't have the ability to express themselves clearly, who are maybe working in an English-speaking company, who want to be more articulate, who want to do better at work to get better positions. If you want to accomplish that, you already speak English, what you need is to gain skills and confidence by speaking more, not just completing a lesson on a topic. That's not quite the point. The point is you need to talk more. You need to talk a lot. And this is giving you a way, a nudge, a push to do that. And I find that really, really interesting. And I have not seen anything like this before that has that little, it's a psychological thing, almost a trick, but in a good way to push you to do more, to say more. So that is very, very cool. I'm very impressed with it. It's showing me that I've completed 3 of my 14 minutes daily goal. Then it's giving me the streak. So streaks are a psychologically proven method of keeping the momentum going, right? If I did Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday, I don't want to let myself down. So I'm going to do Thursday because I don't want to let myself down. So it's important to set realistic goals. But again, the nice thing is that you can practice anytime. You can practice while you're on a walk. You can make it part of your life. You don't have to schedule a time with a teacher and hope they don't forget, and all of that inconvenience and cost that comes along with having a teacher. Plus, you also have the push notifications, streaks that keep you on track, which, for example, if you're just kind of randomly practicing in tools like ChatGPT, you're not going to get. And you're also not going to get that depth of feedback that you get after each session. Great job. Your speech is within the recommended range of words per minute. Not too slow. That's good. Okay, and then progress in Module 1. You talked 4 minutes. Speak 26 more minutes to complete the module. Current topics or issues I'm dealing with, subject-verb agreement, gerunds and infinitives, prepositions, specific words, and pronunciation sounds. Okay? And so each time you're kind of just dipping in, talking with your teacher, and again, doing it anytime, which I like. So, okay, Fluently. If you're in that place where you're frustrated by your lack of fluency, it's most likely due to a lack of practice, feedback, habits, and accountability. And I see with Fluently, you're getting all of that. A personalized AI teacher available anytime to practice, encouraging you to say more, say more, say more, to build skills, to build speaking habits and confidence. The feedback loop being, here's your report at the end of the lesson, pronunciation issues, grammar issues, vocabulary issues to work on, which then, to complete the loop, allows me to, after I think about those things, practice again when I have time, holding me accountable to my goal of, let's say, 10 minutes a day of speaking, and streaks that push me to practice every day. And my personal teacher knows what my issues are and can bring those things up in the lesson, and I can practice different skills depending on maybe what I'm working toward. I'm trying to get a better job. Okay, I'll practice job interviews. And I may not only practice job interviews, but I can. Or I can practice other topics. And once you get into the rhythm of doing that every day, you're going to improve. And to me, it doesn't feel as much like a I'm a teacher lesson. It's more like a, hey, I'm here to help you. Let's talk. And based on what comes up in our conversation, you'll get feedback and we'll go in a natural direction. One thing I really like about this app that's unique, that I think is really good, is the balance of the conversation. It feels right. The amount of feedback that I'm getting, the suggestions that I'm getting, like words, phrasal verbs, and the flow of the conversation, which is actually the most important thing. The most important thing is the flow of the conversation, that it feels natural and doesn't just keep diving into specifics, more and more and more and more details only. It has to flow like a real conversation. As someone who's been teaching English for 15 years, who knows when it feels right and when it doesn't, I can recommend Fluently. I think it is a great way to practice and a great way to hold yourself accountable. And if you think about how much it costs to pay a one-to-one teacher, a private teacher, then signing up for Fluently is much cheaper. So I think it's a great tool if you're looking for a personalized AI teacher to practice English anytime and finally build confidence and become a natural, fluent English speaker. Check out Fluently in the link in the description, and I'll see you in the next one.